42% of homes cannot be sold in the Phoenix market right now. Welcome back, everyone, to my Monday market update. In this episode, I am going to talk about some of the shift in the current market between the seller and the buyers, as well as talking about home prices, home range that is struggling right now. And we see that 40% of homes of available listing cannot be sold and they have to get canceled. All right. And last but not least, we are going to look at the entire US market update. Okay. With that, let's dive right into the information. All right. So let me share with you the screen here. Uh, this data right here, this is gathering by the Comfort Associate. They normally generate an index that is very easy for us to understand what the market condition is. If it is more than 110, it's a seller market. From 90 to 110 is the balance market. Less than 90 is the buyer's market. And we have been tracking the change of the Comfort Market Index. This is actually a very good number, and this is a leading indicator, meaning that it detects the market as it's happened. Okay, so as of right now, we actually see a 4.5% rise compared to past months. Now, if you follow my channel, last week I report a 2.7% increase. This improve actually suggests that the sellers are seeing slightly better showing that there is a signal suggesting the seller that a better condition of overall market. Okay. In fact, let's look at some detail. 11 out of the 17 major cities improved for the seller, meaning that is they're getting closer to 110 mark. Okay. We also see that actually a decline in the number of supply right now. Not much, but we're seeing that. Okay. And the demand is still weak. Okay. That is what we have to absorb, right? We see a supply drop, but also the demand is still very weak. So why is that? Okay. We actually see that because the interest rate is so high and people are not interested in like they're not that they are not interested in the housing market, but they don't want to make the move because they anticipate that the interest rate going to drop in the near future, and therefore they don't want to lose the chance. Well, is that a good decision or not is a different story, right? And this is not the scope of today's videos. If you're interested in learning more about that decision, feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to share the information with you. All right. When we are looking at different market, different price range, we see different behavior. Right. For example, in Paradise Valley, which is one of the strongest markets, this one is actually continue leading the way with not so much of supply, right? And still a lot of demand. 98, okay, is only 98 homes available in this area. Okay. In the other side, if we're looking at Maricopa, now is actually the weakest market for the seller with 666 homes listed, far above the long-term average of 415. Okay. So that is, like I said, again, the reason why it's shifting like this is because we have a decline in supply. A fewer new listings are coming to the market, right? Creating less competition for the sellers. Okay. Some of the people might stop here and say, oh my goodness, so then it's going to be going up again. Hold on, because price going up again, right? Hold on, because the demand is still weak. So this is not a full swing back yet for the sellers market. It's only slight increase. 2.7 to 4.5 is a signal to the increase, but it's not that much high. Okay. So high-end market, talking about Paradise Valley, right, versus Maricopa. As I told you, Paradise Valley is one of the strongest market as of right now. And we actually see that in luxury market like Scottsdale and Cape Creek, right? Indeed, luxury market show the strong seller improvement as well. In addition to Maricopa, we see also Buckeye actually weakening for the seller. Okay, this tell us, unfortunately, this tell us that the wealthier buyers are still very active, while the mid-range and entry-level buyers are likely held back. Affordable, because affordable is the biggest concern for the mid-range and the entry-level buyers right now because high interest rate. So keep in mind that you have plenty of option to um, um, drop your interest rate. Okay, number one, the easiest one is to negotiate with the pre-owned homeowners to get some interest rate buy down for you. And if you don't want to negotiate, there's plenty of home that's building brand new houses and offer to you 3.75, 3.99, 4.2, very low interest rate as well. Okay, of course, double check with your agent to see at that rate what is the estimate monthly payment is, so that you feel comfortable about that. Okay, my yes, so that is my advice if you want to seek for a lower interest rate. Okay, what about price? Okay, we also have a mixed signal, and this one we're gonna compare a little bit between the Phoenix market as well as other metro area. Okay, so across the country, we see there's a mixed signal, and Phoenix is kind of behind. We see that 17 cities across the US has the price increase. Okay, Phoenix actually also have an increase of 0.06%. Okay, this place a 16th out of 20 country. I'm sorry, 20 cities across the national. Okay, um, in average, we see that the monthly change of national average is about 0.45%. So meaning that the Phoenix is well underperformance. Okay, on a year over year basis, okay, Phoenix grows 0.9%, versus the national is 2.3%. That said, price haven't turned negative, so we're holding grab, not just accelerating. Okay, so that's a good thing, right? Obviously, we see positive here. We don't see negative yet, right? It's still accelerating at a very low rate. Although when we compare with the national average, Phoenix is kind of behind. Okay, so those of you may asking, what about the success rate of whoever want to buy, whoever want to sell the house on the market? So to be able to do that, we're going to look at the listing success rate. By the definition, is the probability of the listing to be successfully sold if it is listed on the market. March of 2025 is 74%. As of right now, we are at 60%. Okay, 60%. And that is number one, 14% success drop. We also have 42% more listing cancellation versus last year. That means there's 40% of homes that is starting listed on the market and it never be able to sold. Okay, get canceled. So that's very, very dangerous, very sensitive market. Okay, 3 out of 5 that is actually selling. Only 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5 homes that you see available on the market would be canceled very soon. Okay, which means the buyers are negotiating harder and asking for concession and upgrade. Okay, for the seller, that means you have to have the right strategy and patient waiting. Okay, just because the market slightly improving doesn't mean that the home will fly off the shelf. Okay, so the signal for you to be happy about, but to be careful, you have to have the right strategy and you have to patiently wait. Okay. The next portion we are going to talk about national update. In general, we have an imbalance across the country. We have an imbalance between buyers and sellers. As of right now, we have about 1.9 million sellers versus only 1.4 million buyers available. So obviously, you see the supply will go way up, but the demand hasn't been like it goes down, right? From the increase of the interest rate, But in the long run, I don't think it's changed that much. Okay, that's a major shift between the big gap between the available sellers and the available buyers. Okay, that means it's putting more pressure on the sellers to make deal, especially when affordable is tight. And we're talking about for the Phoenix market, right? It's very similar because when we talk about affordability, we're looking at first-time home buyer and a low-end entry level house, right? Mid-range or low entry range. That is when the buyers care more about affordability. Okay. Now let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. National home price. We talk about price now. From May 2024 to May 2025. Okay. May 2024 here, May 2025 here have softened. Okay. You see here, right here is the home price growth. Okay. Home price growth. Okay. According to the data, price growth has slowed significantly compared to the recent year, right? In fact, many markets are seeing little to no appreciation. Okay, but in here, on average, we still, number one, everything seems to be positive except for July 2023, right? Maybe negative there, but number one, everything is positive, is above the zero line, meaning that its home price is still grow positively. But at the very low level, remember on average, a couple of slides before, we see that national average is about 0.45%. Okay, Phoenix is a bit less than that, but overall it's still a positive number. Okay, so where is it showing up the most? Let's look at the 50 largest metros across the country. We have Cleveland, Ohio increased almost 4%. Oh, I'm sorry, almost 5%. We have Detroit, almost 3%. We have San Jose, California, almost 1%. Now, where's Phoenix? Phoenix is right here. And unfortunately, from May 2024 to May 2025, we have a decrease of 3%. Now, why do I report the 3%? I'm sorry, why do I report a May number to you right now? Well, the national, this is a national statistic, right? So it takes time for them to collect all the data. I'm going to be more interested to see the number around August timeframe. Okay. All right. That is it for in terms of the data. What does that mean for the buyers and the seller? So if you are the buyer in today's market, okay, you still have the opportunity, okay, especially for the areas that you see a lot of inventory. When there is competition, the buyers is the winner. Okay, especially on the street that you see 2 or 3 or 4, even 4 houses for sale, available for sale. If you are the seller, pricing strategy is still the king. You have to have the right price to be able to attract the potential buyers. Okay, make sure that you work with an agent and listen to your agent as well, because sometimes what you wish, okay, may not be the situation that help you. And especially, of course, I know as a seller, you want the highest price as much as possible, but it is just not the case in this market. Okay, you have to price reasonably, and you have to have the right marketing strategy. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you are interested in receiving information on the weekly basis, you can feel free to scan the QR code here, and then you sign up for the weekly subscription. If not, you can just go to the website and then read all the information about the market update. Thank you. Have a good day.